In the ancient days, long before the streets of Kraków echoed with laughter and trade, when knights still roamed the lands of Poland and kings ruled from stone castles, there was a darkness lurking beneath Wawel Hill. It was a darkness that had a name whispered only in fear, the Basilisk dragon. Kraków was a jewel among cities, crowned by the mighty Wawel castle. Merchants from distant lands, from Prague, from Vienna, from faraway Constantinople, came to trade their silks and spices at the market square. But beneath all that life and color, beneath the castle itself, stretched a labyrinth of caverns and tunnels carved by the river and time itself. Few dared to enter those depths, for there were rumors that something ancient had made its home there. It began with missing sheep, then cattle, and soon, people. Farmers near the hill found only scorch marks and bones. The air around the cave reeked of sulfur and smoke. The villagers called it Smoca Jama, the dragon's den. When the attacks grew bolder, the king of Kraków gathered his bravest knights. He promised riches and glory to anyone who could slay the monster. One after another, armored heroes rode to the mouth of the cave, banners waving proudly. The people watched from a distance, praying for their safety. But none returned. Only silence, and the faint tremor of something moving beneath the earth. The king's heart grew heavy with despair. His counselors suggested abandoning the city, but Kraków was his crown, his pride. He swore to find a way, even if it meant sacrificing his fortune, or his life. The dragon was not like those of fairy tales. It was said to be born from the egg of a serpent, fertilized by the lightning of a storm. Its body was covered in scales as hard as iron, its eyes glowed like molten gold, and its breath could melt stone. But its most terrifying weapon was its gaze. For this dragon was part basilisk, a creature whose very glance could kill. Those who looked directly into its eyes would fall lifeless to the ground before they could even scream. The people of Kraków lived in terror. Every week, they left offerings by the cave, sheep, goats, sometimes even prisoners, hoping to appease the beast. The dragon accepted their tribute, but its hunger was never sated. Among the frightened citizens was a young shoemaker named Skuba. He was clever and curious, a man who believed that courage was not measured by strength, but by wit. When he saw his neighbors live in fear, Skuba decided he would not wait for another night to die. He would face the dragon himself, but he knew he could not fight it with a sword. So he crafted a different kind of weapon, a trick born of human ingenuity. Skuba took a sheep from the market and carefully cut it open. Inside, he stuffed a mixture of sulfur, tar, and burning herbs. The stench was unbearable, but he sewed the sheep shut, making it appear as fresh as any other. Under the veil of night, with only the moon as his witness, Skuba crept toward the dragon's cave. He placed the stuffed sheep at its entrance and hid behind a boulder. Moments later, the ground trembled. From the depths of the cave came a sound that made Skuba's blood run cold, the rumble of wings and the scraping of claws. the dragon emerged, massive and terrible, its scales glistening like wet obsidian. Its breath was thick with smoke, it sniffed the air and saw the sheep. Without hesitation, it devoured the offering in one gulp. Then, silence. For a few heartbeats, all was still, and then, a thunderous roar. The beast twisted in agony as fire erupted within it. The sulfur burned like a furnace inside its belly. Desperate to cool the flames, the dragon turned toward the river Vistula and drank. It drank and drank, more and more, until its stomach swelled like a great balloon. And then, with a deafening boom, the creature burst apart in a cloud of smoke and fire that lit up the night sky. At sunrise, the people of Kraków gathered at the hill. The river steamed, the air smelled of smoke and victory. The dragon was gone, destroyed by a humble shoemaker's wit. The king summoned Skuba to the castle, showering him with gold and declaring him a hero of the realm. In his honor, a feast was held that lasted 3 days and nights. Songs were sung of the shoemaker, who defeated the dragon not with might, but with mind. And from that day on, peace returned to the city. But the cave beneath Wawel remained. The king ordered it sealed, yet the people whispered that not all of the dragon's magic had died. Some say its spirit still sleeps deep within the rock, guarding the heart of Kraków itself. Centuries passed. The city grew, its cobblestone streets filled with merchants, scholars, and travelers from distant lands. Yet the legend endured. To this day, at the foot of Wawel Hill, near the banks of the river, a statue of the dragon stands, breathing fire every few minutes to remind visitors of the legend that shaped Krakow's soul. And when the wind blows through the ancient stones at night, the people say you can still hear a faint echo, a roar carried by time, the final cry of the Basilisk dragon. A reminder that courage, wisdom, and heart can triumph over any monster, even those born from darkness itself. This was the legend of the Basilisk dragon of Kraków, a tale of fear, fire, and the flame of human bravery that never dies.